Hello and welcome to the Ouachita News Show. I'm Chris Gay.
And I'm Lexi Lunsford. We are just a few days out from spring break, but stick with us because we have some exciting things still happening for you today on the show. First, let's take a look at our weather for the forecast provided by Joshua Engel. Josh, what can we expect going into this spring break?
Thank you, Lexi. You're right. It's actually going to be a very exciting week here for weather, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Today, temperatures are a high of 77 and a low of 65. That's actually really, really warm compared to what we've been seeing so far. So we're getting temps to start to rise. Again, that low of 65, that's still really warm. We're not dropping down at all. Chance of rain is 30% chance. There's a little bit of a potential for some precipitation coming down, but not a lot. Not something to be concerned with. But really, what's interesting is we've got a lot of low clouds here. There's not a lot of sun here today. Tomorrow, that's where things get exciting, as I was talking about. Actually, as I was walking in to the studio, I heard the tornado sirens going off, and that's just a test, but there's a good chance they'll be needing them tomorrow, sadly, as we have some really severe weather coming in. Guys, we have chance for hail, we have severe winds, flash flooding, tornadoes especially. Keep in mind, we've got spring weathers here and tornado season is pretty much almost upon us. And because of that, we're going to start seeing storms like this come through. So, as you can see here, we've got a 70% chance of a thunderstorm that day. It's really high. It's going to come right through the region. Temps are also still going to remain up in the 70s and lower 60s, so it's still really warm too. A lot of energy in the air. But moving on into the rest of the week, I mean, the rain's just going to last into Friday. We'll have some morning showers there, but really that's about all the rain we're going to get, more than likely. A few chances here and there again today and Saturday. But what's interesting is we're honestly not going to see a lot of sun this week. Again, we start off with the storms, and later into the week, it's mostly just very cloudy days. In fact, Tuesday, at least at the moment, the prediction is that Tuesday is going to be about 25% cloud coverage. But otherwise, we're going to see over 50% cloud coverage for the rest of the week. And so not a lot of sun we'll be seeing. Something to keep in mind if you have any outdoor plans, that it just may be a cloudy day. Temps too as well. Again, we start off in the high 70s, drops down to the low 70s and upper 60s. And then we do have, right here on Monday, we drop down to 60. Finally, we're coming back down again. It's funny, we're still getting some of that colder temperatures. I mean, low of 33 right there. So we're still getting really close to freezing, which is interesting, especially as we are, kind of past that winter time. But we're still getting some of those colder temps every now and again, little bursts, but sadly, they don't last. Tuesday, we're immediately jumping back up another 10 degrees. So it is what it is. It's springtime, everybody. We got storms and we got temps that are going up and down, but that is all I have for you today. Numbers are by AccuWeather. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Josh. If you haven't heard, Student Senate executive elections are this week. The positions of Student Body President, External Vice President, Internal Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer are all open. Make sure to vote in your info portal by Friday. And Student Senate cabinet elections are happening this week after spring break. Be watching for candidates' campaigns and make sure to vote in your info portal for that election as well.
Well, taking a look at the arts, the David Allen Glaze Music Competition is tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. in Macbeth Recital Hall. The competition, named after Ouachita alum David Glaze, will feature performers both in vocal and instrumental disciplines. And if you missed it, the 10-Minute Play Festival, also known as the All Night Theater, was this past weekend. Madeline Colser is bringing us a behind-the-scenes look at the event that had on campus entertained. Madeline?
Taking place over 24 hours in the Verser Theater, All Night Theater is the highlight of the spring semester every year. Students sign up to audition for a 10-minute play, and then rehearsals start the next evening. Many hours are spent rehearsing, laughing, and learning the process of memorizing a script in less than 24 hours.
I've never been in a theater production in my entire life, And so getting to kind of go through the props and the costumes and getting to know everyone and learning my lines and just kind of learning with everyone has been such a fun experience.
All the shows performed are student written and directed, giving the opportunity for the campus playwrights and actors to have their written art showcased to an audience. In one case, an actor related deeply with her character.
The character I played is a person who is writing plays, and one of her lines is, I want to write literature that will stun the world with elegance, and I am a person who writes literature whose aim is to stun the world with her elegance.
A long weekend for many, but a rewarding one for sure. This is Madeline Colzer with Washita News.
Thanks, Madeline. Well, it's now time to take a look at what our Washita athletes have been up to. Brody Kriegel is back today with our Roar Rundown. Brody, fill us in on the Tigers.
Thank you, Chris, and welcome to this week's Roar Rundown. I'm Brody Kriegel, and while spring break is almost here, Washita sports is not taking a break anytime soon. Tiger baseball split a doubleheader on the road against Arkansas Tech. After losing the first two games 3-0 and 2-0, the Tigers came back to win 5-4 on Sunday, avoiding a series sweep. After being shut out in the first two games of the series, Washita wasted no time scoring its first run of the weekend with a leadoff home run from Dustin Bermudez in the first inning of the finale. It was the first of Bermudez's 2 home runs in that game. He also hit a solo round tripper in the 7th inning, which was the game-winning run in the one-run affair. It was the second 2-home run game for Bermudez during his Washita career and also represented his second and third home runs of the 2024 season. The Tigers scored their other 3 runs in the top of the third to take a 4-0 lead, including an RBI double from Wesley Scott, an RBI single from G. Allen, and an RBI single from Colin Lyles. The Tigers have a pair of midweek games lined up this week, traveling to Magnolia on Tuesday night to take on Southern Arkansas in a non-conference game at 6 p.m. before hosting Texas A&M Texarkana on Wednesday at 3 p.m. For Washita softball, it only took an hour and 15 minutes for the team to shut out the Golden Suns of Arkansas Tech 2-0 on Sunday afternoon in the game 3 of the weekend series. The game started with Washita having to work itself out of a jam as Arkansas Tech put a couple of runners on in the top of the first, but the Tigers kept the Golden Suns off the board. After the first inning, there was only one combined hit between the two teams until the bottom of the third, when Washita broke the 0-0 tie. With 2 outs in the bottom of the third, Olivia C. singled down the left field line, and Bailey King followed by beating out the throw to first for a single to move C to second. Aaron Williams then doubled to right field to score C and put the Tigers up 1-0. Washita held Tech to 3 hits over the next 3 scoreless innings. In the bottom of the 6th, King led off the inning with a double and was then brought home on an RBI double from Remington Adams to give the Tigers an insurance run and make the score 2-0. Washita forced 2 flyouts and a groundout in a perfect top of the 7th to preserve the shutout and pick up the 2-0 win over the Golden Suns. It was a great showing for the Washita defense as they only allowed 5 hits without an error in the win. The Tigers will look to keep up the success on Tuesday, March 12th, when they host cross-street rival Henderson State in a GAC doubleheader starting at 4 p.m. at Langston Field. After falling behind in doubles, the Washita men's tennis team came back to win 4 straight singles matchups and eventually earned a 5-2 victory over Newman on Tuesday in a neutral site match played in Fort Smith. The victory moves Washita to 7-2 overall with its 4th straight win. It is also the first conference win of the season, with Newman joining the MIAA GAC South Division this year. The Tigers lost 2nd and 3rd position doubles to start the match, while 7th-ranked Phil Exner and Alex Blanchard took care of business at number 1 with a clean 6-0 sweep. In singles, Exner, Ramon Strassman, Elias Lager, and Moritz Buss all won in straight sets to seal the team win. Fernando Doctors later earned Washita's final point with a hard-fought win in 3rd position. The 11th-ranked Tigers are back in Arkadelphia on Wednesday for a match against Nebraska Kearney, starting at 2 p.m. That is all for this week's Roar Rundown. If you want to keep up with the latest in Washita sports, visit obutigers.com and tune into the Washita Sports Digital Network. I'm Brody Kriegel, and this has been your Roar Rundown. Back to you, Lexi.
Well, in other big news, the Washita Student Foundation announces that the alumni band Joan will be performing during Arkansas's most exciting college weekend right here on campus. Tracks is on April the 27th, and tickets for the concert for students are $10 or free if you're participating in Tiger Tracks. Keep watching your OBU email for more information about signing up for Tracks. But those tickets are on sale at obu.edu/box office.
Well, that brings us to our question of the week. We asked you all on our Instagram what celebrity you'd like to see on our campus, and we're sharing some of your responses here on the show.
Sam Forbes says Zach Bryan.
Kenna Mills said Ben Rector.
Addison Sutherland said she would want to see Taylor Swift.
And Michael Passman said the band Camino. These all sound like great options to me. Lexi, what celeb would you like to see here?
Chris, I think I'm going to have to agree with Addison. I would want to see Taylor Swift on campus. That'd be pretty cool.
You know, I got to go. This is kind of an oddball for me, but Robert Downey Jr., he just won his
Okay.
first Oscars over the weekend.
That
and
is a good
just seems
one.
like a really great guy to talk to.
Yeah, that would be really exciting. Well, that's all we have for you today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ouachita News Show and answer each question of the week. You might just see your responses pop up here on the show.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ouachita News Show, so you never miss out on the latest and greatest in Ouachita news.